OUGH. This four-letter combination in English has led many English learners to utter many four-letter words in frustration because this is one of the trickiest letter combinations in English. Listen to these words and see how each one is pronounced. Tough, though, thought, through, bow, cough. Did you see what happened? Each of these has the OUGH in it, but in each case, the OUGH made a different sound. There are up to 9 different pronunciations of the OUGH depending on specific dialects in English. That's what makes this letter combination so challenging and so frustrating. And in fact, even for native English speakers, when they're learning to read as children, this OUGH combination poses a lot of problems. The reason for this insanity has to do with the languages that these words originated from, different words originated from different languages, and how they morphed through various cultural influences over time, and something called the Great Vowel Shift. So all of that is to really say that there isn't really any logic that can be applied to it. It's like each one of these words went on their own journey and ended up at very different destinations. Hello everyone, my name is Bakul Soman. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to review the common words in English that have this OUGH combination and review their pronunciation. Okay? Because like I said, there isn't really any logic that can be applied to it. Maybe some patterns, but not really. So our best defense is to just know how to pronounce these common words. Let's get started. The first pronunciation we are going to look at is when the OUGH says uff, uff. So these are words that are going to rhyme with the word stuff. So OUGH is going to make the same sound as UFF. These are words like tough, rough, enough. Okay, so that's our first pronunciation, uff. The second pronunciation we are going to look at is where the OUGH simply say O. These would be words like though, although, dough, donut, thoroughfare. At least in American English, it would be thoroughfare. In British English, I think it's thoroughfare, but in American English, thoroughfare. The third pronunciation is where it says aw, aw, okay? And in American English, sometimes it can almost sound like ah, or it is pronounced ah. Thought, fought, bought. They're all going to rhyme with caught, like I caught the ball. So thought, bought, fought, brought, sought, wrought. Okay, so these are some words that have the OUGH making the ah sound. Or in American English, often you will hear caught, fought, like ah instead of ah. The fourth pronunciation is when OUGH say ow, rhyming with cow, like the animal, cow, okay? So these would be words like bow, not bow like you bow in front of somebody, bow like the branch of a tree, B-O-U-G-H, plow, P-L-O-U-G-H, and I know in American English a lot of times, plow, the spelling is P-L-O-W, but in British English it is still written as P-L-O-U-G-H, plow. In either case, it is pronounced as ow, plow. Drought. Okay, so the OUGH is still making the ow sound, but there's a T at the end and you're adding that T. Drought. So bow, plow, drought. And somewhere I did hear that this ow pronunciation for the OUGH often are words that are from Old English and have to do with nature. Again, probably a good pattern to have in mind, but it's definitely not a rule. The fifth way the letter combinations OUGH can be pronounced is OO. It rhymes with the vowel sound in the word blue. Through. T-H-R-O-U-G-H. Through. There aren't a lot of other words that use this OO pronunciation for the O-U-G-H. If you guys come up with any, definitely let me know. I'm sure there are others, but this is one of the common ones in English. Remember, we're only looking at the common ones. There are a lot more words with O-U-G-H in English, and they fall into one of these categories, or maybe one of the other pronunciations out of the 9 that exist, but we are looking at the common ones today. And the last one is off or off in American English, such as the word cough or cough, either the ah, cough, or cough, ah. Again, this is one of the only common words that uses this pronunciation of O-U-G-H. So we looked at 6 different ways to pronounce the O-U-G-H. So let's quickly recap what the different pronunciations are and one example for each. The first one is uff, rhyming with stuff, like tough. Second one is O, rhyming with go, like though. Third one is aw, rhyming with the vowel sound in a word like caught. The example is thought, or it could be thought in American English. Fourth pronunciation, ow, rhyming with cow in a word like bow. The fifth one is ooh, rhyming with the vowel sound in blue, and the common word is through. The sixth one, off or off, the word is cough or cough. So, like I said, unfortunately, there isn't any rule that is going to help you decide, oh, in this case, because of XYZ, the O-U-G-H is going to make this sound. But there are only a handful of words in English that use this letter combination that are common. So your best bet is to just try and memorize how these particular words sound. Is that going to help you with an obscure or an uncommon word that has this combination? Not necessarily, but you always have online tools to help you figure out the specific pronunciation. But these words, knowing these by heart, are just going to make you feel a little bit more confident because you are going to probably use these words often. Maybe not bow, maybe not plow, but many of the other ones, you're going to use them often in your spoken English. That is it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.